the connectors, they will be like sorry, I closed the Discord. So, well, we are going to have two versions of the connectors. There will be the version 1.5 was moved to 2.0, and now the latest version is 2.1. So for this, I will paste here again the Discord thread. This is the one that we were discussing, the connector revamp issue, the connector revamp project. So I will paste in the chat the link, is this one. So, okay. The only thing that we have to work on, and the thing that I need your help is to, if you are interested in working in some of the connectors, just let us know, and we are going to like reserve the connector for you and let others know that you are working on that connector. So suppose that you want to work, for example, in the revamp of Binance Perpetual to the latest standards. Well, you should let us know and we can start working on that. So one thing here you have, I created a guide only for Spot right now, but this guide is like some step-by-step things that you should do. This is a Notion page. I will paste the link for the Notion page. As you can see here, you have the certified exchange connector bounties. That Notion page is public, and there you have a table there. There is that the name is connectors. So in that table at the top right, you have a button that is new. So if you click in new, or in the arrow that is at the right of new, you will find that you have Spot Connector B2.0 and Spot Connector B2.1. You should create your connector with the version 2.1. That's the latest standard. I will paste here like also the template, so you can check what you have to do. The idea of this template is that you can go and follow the steps that are listed there. And if you follow the steps, you will see, for example, first of all, you have to do a pre-work. In the pre-work, you have to complete the exchange name, the connector site, the API docs, and the checklist. So this page will be useful for you if you are developing the connector. You turn off the computer, then you are in the Notion page again. You have all the links there easily. And then you have the checklist. That checklist are some API endpoints that you will need in order to code the connector. So probably I have to update some of the paths, but mainly are those. And then you have the developments part, that is how to set up the environment with GitHub and how to set up the directory. And it will let you, it will guide you through the which are the things that you have to copy from for example the Binance connector to your repository, how to replace Binance for your connector, and well, then all the things that you have to start implementing in order to finish your connector. The idea of that pre-work is that you always implement the test before the code. So in that way, when you finish all the work, you will see that probably you have 2 or 3 failures in all your connector. You have to fix them, but it's very straightforward. If you implement the test and then you implement the method, it's much more better than start working directly in the connector and then add the test as you want. So I recommend you to follow that guide, and well, you will be able to build a connector quickly. So the next thing is that if you're interested in one of the listed connectors, let me know. Right now we have some people assigned to some connectors. There is one guy that is working in the Gate.io perpetual connector, and there is I think that Memento, he didn't confirm it, didn't confirm, but he wants to work in the hit BTC, I think. And also we can ask Mike, you're here, Mike. Last week we have a question. Well, Memento asked this, and I forgot to tell you, but he asked it as something related to the API keys because he's living in the USA, and probably he is, suppose that he wants to develop, I don't know, the FTX connector, and he is not allowed because he's based in the US. If we can make a process to give the developers that are working in developing a specific connector some API keys for testing for that.
Okay. So yeah, we probably can. We probably do the same thing that our Q8 create some API keys. It would be an issue, I think, for for people. I think that's kind of why we're a community-based org, that are in different countries that have access to the connectors related to exchanges. So we can consider it on a one-off basis. Help develop. I would say, I think, yeah, basically, I think we as make accounts available for people who have certain things.
Yeah, so, Mike, your voice is like very very bad. It's like, yeah, I think that maybe.
Yeah, I'm still having issues with So I'll about this on the chat channel, actually.
Okay. Now your voice is like it's in slow motion.
Yeah. There's some because of my my setup here. Yeah, but yeah, we just keep on going. I'll run my thoughts about the API issue in chat.
Okay. Well, the next thing that's all related to the well, Mendy says I commented my interest on FTX perpetual. Well, if you want to work on that connector, you can let me know, and you will be able to do it. The thing is that if you don't, if you didn't created a connector before, I would recommend you to start with a spot connector. And I think that Show also is interested in FTX perpetual. He wrote me 1 week ago. So let me confirm if Show is going to take the FTX perpetual, or if not, you can take it, because he chatted me, I think that 1 week ago about that, and I told him that let's discuss that. Well, I'll let you know, Mandy. And if not, you can take another spot connector. If it's your first time building a connector, I would recommend you to start with a spot, because it will let you. Okay, I would recommend you to start with spot, because mainly you have a lot of examples of spot connectors and you can check how it's implemented in some of the examples that you have. So in the code base, in the perpetual side, you only have one example of the latest standards. So that's why I would recommend you to start with a spot connector. And when you feel confident with all the things that you have to implement in a spot connector, then move to a perpetual one. So I think that, and also another thing that will be very useful is that you have already. I would recommend you to select, if you check the page that is the Notion page that I shared to you. If you check the connectors that are for building, there is Ascendex, HitBTC, Huobi, Binance Perpetual, and Bybit. So, for example, if you select to upgrade the Bybit connector, is in version 2.0. So the versions are very similar of the ones that you have to upgrade to 2.1. So if you choose the Bybit connector, you will be able to copy the most of the things of the connector and just refactor some specific things of the exchange. You're going to delete more things that you are going to create, because with this exchange by base is much more simpler the way that you can build a connector, because you have a lot of methods implemented in the superclass. So I would recommend you to choose one of them and start working on that. So, well, that's all for the Exchange Connector Revamp. Just ping me on Discord if you want to get assigned to a connectors. Well, so if you want, just ping me, and I will create I will add a column on a Discord, on a Notion page, where we can check which activity is assigned to each one of you. So, well, I think that we can move to the next topic. So for the next topic of today, we have, I don't know if anyone has a question. It's the moment to ask the questions for the first topic. Well, if you have any questions, just put that in the chat, and I will answer. So the next one is PRs and Bounties board updates. Well, for this process, we were working with a lot of you. Well, a lot of you know, but mostly with some of you in this process. This week, we are going to have the release. We have the staging branch. We are waiting just for a review to move that to master. So we are very happy that this release was with a lot of contributions of community members. That was very good for us. Well, for the Bounties board, we have just one open issue remaining. That is the certs on the Gateway V2. And I think that Memento already is working on this one, but well, it's the only one that we have open and without any assignment. And we have a lot of, we have 8 submitted, 4 merged, and 10 paid. The good thing is that the last week we have 4 PRs paid, and now this week we have 10 PRs paid. We have 4 waiting for payment. There are the liquidity mining, available balance, and start canceling order, and the auto start issue. And we have 8 submitted. From the 8 PRs that are submitted, the 8 I think that are from Memento. So thank you, Memento, for being working on this on the issue so hard. So very good your your contribution to the code base. One thing that we discussed also with the guys is that we should restrict the number of PRs of issues at the same time that are uh, managed by a single developer. For example, if you are working in the in more than 4 PRs, and I ask you to redo all of them, probably you will have a lot of work. The process won't be so scalable because a lot of PRs will be stuck in your ownership. So we are going to limit how many PRs we can assign at the same time for a developer, and that will let us work more fast and get PRs merged in a better way than have a lot of PRs from the same developer in a disorganized way. So, well, there are some PRs that needs review from the developer. Now moving to the PRs process, we have on deck to review 3 PRs. Mostly there are one from the WebSocket disconnection, the rate protocol of the cross-exchange market making, and the broker ID for Bitmart and BitMEX. This is just a broker ID addition. It's very easy. And then we are reviewing 4 PRs, the token balance for the gateway connectors. The Eve production domain is a connector that we have already. The search directory that are wrong. This I think that is Memento 2. And the gateway phase to connect the Uniswap LP. That is the one that we need to merge in order to release the new branch, for the new release. So, well, that's that's the current status of the PRs. There are some missing contributions from the developers or fixes that we ask that needs to be done. So, well, but the process I think that is very good because we are working together in order to kill all the bugs. Well, I don't know if anyone has a question about the process. If anyone wants to take a new PR, the only one that is available is the one that I told you before. So we have just one PR to be assigned. So this week, the one that wants to solve that issue will be able to do it. So is the incorrect gateway search conf and log file. So that's the only one that we have available. Is Memento says it is not an issue. Okay. Well, we have to review it, but unless already fixed. Okay, probably it's already fixed because this bug is like 2 months ago. So, well, we are going to ask the QA team to review it again and probably remove it from the board. So, well, if you have any bug that you think that has to be included in the bounties board, this is a moment that you can say, hey, you can add this bug. Can you please add this bug? Because I think that is important for X reason. So it's the moment to add the PRs from the community now. So if you have any PR, any bug that you want to include, is the moment that you can ask us to include it here.
Yeah. Also, can you hear me now? Is my voice still breaking up?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I think that I think we should also proactively add bugs to the board as well. Just looking at the issues, there's actually quite a few issues related to certified exchanges and some of the main strategies Hummingbot. So yeah, I think the QA our QA team they should also regularly just kind of like keep like at least 2 or 3 bugs in the open column at all times.
Yes. Yeah, yeah. In the process, the idea is that we have to keep like 7 or 8 PRs open and continue filling that column. So this week, I think that they are a little bit busy with the release, but normally we should have like 7 open bugs or issues to let the developers work on them. At the same time, we have a lot of ongoing issues. We have like 8, like 4 plus 3 is like 11 bugs on review right now. Well, probably we can make a total sum of open, assigned, and submitted. So we can say, for example, we have to the sum of open, assigned, and submitted has to be, for example, I don't know, 15 or 16. So that will let us let the process go better.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and I think overall, I think that the reality is like a lot of people when try to use Hummingbot, they're still seeing lots of like just pretty basic bugs with the core strategies and core factors. So yeah, I feel like just kind of making sure that we actually deliver a good first time user experience where like, people can actually like not see a whole bunch of bugs. So there's probably other issues that we can create related to that.
Yeah.
But I think overall, just kind of like just focusing on the basic bugs base and just making sure that we kind of fix those bugs and kind of building the process over time.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I think that we can create some bugs by ourselves. I mean, so
right. Yeah,
well, Memento says that gateway now starting with development Docker is an issue that is important for him. And I think that is correct because this is part of the user experience. If the gateway is not starting, it's very bad.
Yeah, that's right. I definitely agree. Yeah, like these are some like these are kind of like the major bugs. So I would say I think the question for Memento is like how do bugs get it onto the board? I would say right now it's kind of just assigned by the foundation, but the way that we're assigning them is kind of like we're trying to pick the bugs that are most impactful for users and developers. So if there are any bugs that the community feels like we should prioritize, just let us know and we'll try to prioritize.
Yeah.
So
in that case, for example, the bug that Memento said, I already added to the board. So the idea is that we are going to create some entries to the Bounties board. Normally, we should follow a process to have available X number of bugs to work on progress at the same time, because we are only 3 on QA and 2 devs to review the PRs, and we should be able to review them. If we have 50 submitted bugs at the same time, it won't be scalable at this moment. So we should define a number that is good for merge PRs correctly. But in this case, this meeting is useful too, because, for example, if we miss to this PR to be added to the board, I think that this is a good moment where you can tell us, hey, this bug is missing, and we can add it. So or also, if you think that all PR is important, we can add it to the board. So that's why I think that this meeting is useful for communicate with the community which are the current bugs and which are not included bugs. And if you think that something is important, add it to the board.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and overall, I would say that it's kind of like the way that the way we're trying to kind of our focus as Hummingbot is really trying to make sure that the exchange connectors are working, especially for the top certified exchanges. And we're also going to really focus on building out this the scripts framework, which allows people to basically really build very simple but powerful strategies themselves in Python using all the so because I think that for us to try to maintain every connector and every strategy is almost impossible. But we do think that maintaining a set of high quality connectors to the top exchanges, then and then basically exposing a framework that allows people to build their own strategies is definitely possible. So that's why we're trying to make sure we focus.
Yeah, I agree. Well, if anyone has we are allowed to PR some light strategy. The thing, Memento, is that to include script examples, we have a bot camp running right now. I think that you are part of the bot camp or the next section. So we are going to include the best solutions from the bot camp to the code base. But if you want to create a light strategy or a light strategy was the old name. Now they are called scripts. So if you want to submit a script that is performing, for example, X behavior, you should follow also you have to create the design template, and probably you can create a Discord thread or a HIP, I don't know, Mike, which will be better. But if the community wants to add that strategy, you can add it, and that will be okay.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. Actually, Charlie, I think that it should be easier for us to create, kind of get examples of scripts into the code base. It's kind of like, I think we actually want to encourage that, right? Like, we want to encourage people to create lots of different examples of different scripts, so that people can also look at what other people created, copy them. So I would say, yeah. So right now, I think the process for adding script examples should be a lot simpler, and it shouldn't be as like cumbersome as like HIP and all that kind of stuff. Because I think we actually want to encourage people to submit examples of scripts, anything they want that they could get in the code base. So right now, I would say, yeah, if you have like script examples you want to get in the code base, you can submit them as PRs. The bot camp is actually designed to actually encourage people to submit script examples as well. But yeah, I think it's something we actually want to encourage because like those just help people come up with examples.
Okay. Well, in that case, you can submit the PR and let me know, and I will merge it.
Yeah.
I have. He said.
Go ahead.
He told that he has a PMM that is exchanged by base. I don't know where you referring that is exchanged by base. The pure market making. I think that one is a strategy and the other one is a connector. But well, I created a pure market making script that with an example of how to code in a sync way, in an async way too. So but well,
yep.
I think that is writing.
Yeah. Well, let me modest it. So I would say, to clarify, the kind of scripts we're focusing on are the new version of scripts, not the older PMM scripts. The reason is because the PMM scripts were early in experiment, but they only work on PMM. So because we want to try to have a more general scripting framework that allows people to build any type of strategy, and we decided to rebuild the scripts framework from scratch. And that's why the older PMM scripts, which only work on the strategy, we'll keep them around in the code base, but we don't think it makes sense to invest into that component because of the limitations of that approach. So the new scripts approach is we think is much better because it allows people to just kind of like write anything they want in pure Python. So there is a PMM version that Fede has created that I think we should add as an example soon. But we definitely want to encourage people to create other examples of those scripts because I think it helps people really understand the full power of Hummingbot and everything.
Yeah. Well, the last thing that we have for today is a Q&A from the community. So if you have any questions regarding to that, let us know now on the chat. We can answer you some other questions. I was just asking if it would worth the time to make it script strategy based. Yeah, I think that Memento. I think that the new approach that we should follow is to just work in some examples that are like more generic examples that lets new developers just customize them and create new versions of them, but it will serve more like an inspiration because creating just the same strategy will be the same. In this case, like if you are a developer, you want to customize a strategy, how you can do it. So in Python. So well, I think that that's the idea. Perfect. Anyone has another question? Okay. Well, I think that we can, if anyone has another question, we can end up the call. Let's see us next week.
Okay. Thanks everyone.
Next week we have the monthly community call.
Yes. Yeah. Next we have the community call. Yeah, and actually we should hopefully we'll probably actually to really talk more about BotCamp at the next one and
Okay.
like how it works, how the first batch in November.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Thanks everyone.
Oh well. Bye bye.